There are amazing things, culture, food, music, that is so big in the Hispanic culture. And those things need to be celebrated and maintained. I know that it seems incestuous that I would choose my own husband as one of these people, but it's a fact that he is. I would not be doing what I'm doing had I not met Emilio. I'm 100% sure that destiny put us in each other's path. He's the one that motivated me when he decided he wanted to do some original music. He asked me at that time, we weren't dating yet, if I wrote music. And I said, well, I write parodies, I write poetry, I think I could. He motivated me into starting songwriting.
Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Feel the rhythm of the music getting stronger. Don't you fight it till you try to do that conga beat.
Once we got married and had our son, he literally stopped performing in his own band to make it easier for me to be able to control the lights and the sound and be there for our son on the occasions where they couldn't go with me. He's one of the most motivational human beings I know. On a daily basis, he gets up full of energy, wanting to tackle whatever challenges come our way. Of all the accolades and awards that we've received, which we've been blessed and privileged that there have been many, but this one really stands out. As I'm stepping away with Emilio, President Obama goes, Gloria, come back here a minute. He said, if it was me and Michelle receiving this, I know we'd want to receive it together. What do you think about that? I go, Mr. President, absolutely. We didn't know if that was a possibility. We certainly weren't going to ask for it. He goes, you know what? I'm going to give it to the both of you together because that's how you've been your whole life. And as an immigrant, to receive the highest honor bestowed by this government on a citizen of the country was beyond special. Feels like yesterday when I met him. And when I look at him, he still looks 22, the age when I met him. You know, he says, I look like Santa. I go, no, you don't. You look amazing and gorgeous. He will always be that boy to me. Desi Arnaz actually, he introduced Cuba to the average viewer on television. To see him singing in Spanish and talking in Spanish on American television was a welcoming thing for me. You know, it gave me hope to think that I could see myself on American television. That mix of him and Lucy that was, you know, kinetic and amazingly smart and bright.
All right, now a great big smile.
All right. Not you. Down.
They were a powerful team, and he changed television for sure, forever in the United States. And when the world looks at that picture, they're looking at probably what they think is a moment of celebration. It was taken after one of the Grammy Awards where we performed together. But right at that moment, Celia had told me a joke on the heels of telling me that she was heading back home to expand on her cancer treatments. They had discovered breast cancer, which later had gone on to the brain. And in the midst of telling me about this amazing challenge that she was about to go back and face, she chose to do it with laughter by telling me a joke about it. In essence, that was Celia Cruz. She brought laughter and happiness and music and joy to countless people through her music. My first memories of Celia were my mom's record collection that my grandmother smuggled to us from Cuba in boxes of mango baby food, which was the only thing I would eat. I was super finicky. My mom's early collection was really my first big influence in music, and Celia was front and center there. We just got closer through the years. She was just a plethora of wonderful things that I learned from. Her humility, her professionalism, the fact that she never forgot where she came from. Sonia Sotomayor is a hero in many ways. She's the first Hispanic woman ever to be a part of the Supreme Court, which is huge for us. She's just a brilliant woman. It represents such an honorable and intelligent and wonderful way We're only 3 years apart in age. We lived and experienced the kind of same America when we came here. She grew up in New York and I grew up in Texas, South Carolina, and Miami. She had a lot of challenges in her life, from her diabetes diagnosed at 7 years old, to losing her father and having a tough time with him. I kind of lost my dad at 12. When he came back from Vietnam, he came back very ill from Agent Orange poisoning. We've been able to share personal time, and she's just one of the most impressive human beings I've been able to meet. Consuelo Garcia Perez, born December 12th, 1905 in Cuba. Amazing already from the get-go. She taught herself how to read and write because she had to go to work at 9 years old. I was her first grandchild. I was the love of her life. She spoiled me rotten. She was really the one that took care of me the first 2 years of my life in Cuba because my mom worked and my dad worked. She came to Miami when she was 57 and figured out with my grandfather to establish a restaurant in her home. I grew up in the kitchen with her. She was the one that really wanted me to be a singer, and she would bring people to the house. I'd say, Grandma, I'm too shy. I don't like being the center of attention. And she said, this is your gift, and if you don't share it with the world, you're not going to be happy. And she fell in love with Emilio from the first day that I brought him home to once we were dating, a year after he was my boss only. She was my biggest champion. Our culture, how we're raised, the traditions of our parents, our grandparents, all those things can only enrich us and enrich the world. So we should be proud of those.